So stupid.
Matthew 5:48. You must be perfect as your heavenly Father is. Scrupulosity is a form of OCD involving religious or moral obsessions. Over-concern with the fear that something one thought or did might be a sin of offense to God or other violation of moral doctrine, and it's funny how I learned this on personal treatment for my OCD, where I look at the clinic issue paper loop on my wrist, which bears my legal name of Hubbard, Danielle, French female variant of the Hebrew name Daniel, which means God is my judge. And Genesis 1:27 is like, I was created in God's image, but if that was true, which is to say that God and I are like, which is to say that God also has OCD, I feel like the world would be more color-coded. Like, the keys on the keyboard would actually be in alphabetical order. If God had OCD, there would not be the mistakes that there are, like, Geminis. Or all of the errors, like nobody else in my family having an OCD, but my serotonin and glutamate proved me to be an exception. But if God had OCD, there would be no sinks, or soaps, or hand sanitizers, because what need is there in this new world free of germs? If God had OCD, then my eyeliner would always be perfect. But I throw away my makeup, because if God had OCD, then I would not. And without body dysmorphia and mirror-checking compulsions, I would finally believe that I was beautiful. In this new world, I finally know that I am beautiful. But if God had OCD, then each continent would be symmetrical. The San Juan Islands all arranged orderly like squares on graph paper, as though I could jump between them with ease, as though I was playing hopscotch. As I did prior to being 5 years old with Tourette OCD and jumping on the fifth square 5 times 5 hours later thinking my family is totally going to die in a spontaneous hurricane because I only jumped on it 4 times, but God had OCD, then no ocean would ever be turbulent. All water smooth enough I could traverse the 7 seas by foot just like Jesus did. Water so clear I can look down in the sunlight and see my own heavenly image perfectly reflected. My name means God is my judge, but who is he to judge? For I am a goddess. I'm not one with obsessive compulsive disorder. Matthew 5:48 abridged. This heavenly Father must strive to be as perfect as I am.
Give it up one time for Mimi. Oh, I have 2 quick announcements. So there are restrooms upstairs as well if you go in that direction. And also when it says that the restroom has been liberated from the gender binary, that means anybody can use the bathroom. These scores!
Don't you have something?
Oh, okay. I
I thought you were about to get out, didn't you?
Okay, so do you want to hear a paper joke?
Okay, that's fine.
Never mind, it's terrible.
Oh, just tested that one. Remember? Are you in a circle? We didn't circle that day.
Time out corner.
But you want to hear a paper joke? It's terrible.
Okay.
Okay, you got another one?
How does a penguin build their house?
How?
It glues it together.
I cannot.
I got a million of them. Okay.
That's enough. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Okay. What are the scores for me?
So what did you do in the back? Did you Google like the worst jokes?
No, I'm brilliant.
All right, 9.1. You ready? 9.2. 9.5. 9.5. 9.8.
Give it up for the poet and those points. On deck we have Ruthie, but right now give it up all the way to stage for Hira.
Better when the lights are
Content warning, genocide, and all the horrors that accompany that. White people love nonviolence, but they're hypocrites.
They are.
You want to talk about nonviolence? You mean privilege at its peak? India begged me to kill, and so I did as they asked of me. You ever wonder how a towel head like myself could ever free a people? But do you know how many Sikhs died so that India could be free? Or do you really just know Mahatma Gandhi? Or better yet, do you only know his name? When my grandfather hears Gandhi, he begins to dig his own grave. When my grandmother hears Gandhi, she falls to her knees and begins to pray. Gandhi is the pinnacle of your whiteness, but the architect of my people's pain. Yes, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, so damn loving, he molested his own kids. So goddamn accepting, he called my people dirty pigs. So progressive, he believed black folks were incapable of greatness. Yes, if you believe that Mahatma Gandhi is your role model, then you would have been okay with my black brothers and sisters being harrowed in chains. Look in the mirror. You are privileged. You get to preach nonviolence because you've never been threatened with being silenced. Oh Gandhi, I call you a dog, but at least the dog knows when the fuck to sit down. Better yet, I call you an animal. Are you assholes really out here quoting Gandhi like he's some sort of philosophical life hack?
What?
What if I told you? What if I told you that there was another Gandhi, Indira Gandhi, the granddaughter of Mahatma Gandhi? She called us terrorists, but that's because she doesn't know what it's like to be displaced. This was the woman who gave medals to Indian soldiers who raped Sikh women in her crusade to purify Punjab. This was the woman who ripped the limbs of Sikh men and used their arms as the pillars of her modern day democracy. Do you still think Gandhi is a hero? Nah, cause see, they never liked us to begin with. They think we're their bastard child, their abortion from reality. But see, the child always grows stronger than the parent. And then they call us violent. They call us violent. They call us violent, yet they were the ones that gave us swords. They call us violent, yet they were the ones that made us terrorists. They call us violent, yet we were the ones who protected them. They call us violent, yet they are the ones who torture us. They call us violent, yet we are the hashtags. They call us violent, yet we are the ones that are raped. They call us violent, yet we are the only patriots that country knows. Oh Gandhi, oh Gandhi, I'd shoot you again and I'd throw you in the ditch. Call me a terrorist, but remember, I fought both fucking world wars, and then I saved your kids, and now my blood ain't free.
Yeah! Dogga dogga dog. It's for them, man. You know what I mean? What?
We're here to speak truth to power,
That's right.
right? Youth right now are the truth right now.
Right now, the truth right now.
That's the exact chorus that I want to hear. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How's it going, judges?
It's going a little slow. It's hot up in here.
It is hot
got hot
because
real quick, didn't it?
there's a fire
It did,
on
it's a
this
fire.
stage. I'm stepping in it, not just the gum that happens to be underneath this mic.
Well,
I feel fire.
we're ready.
You're ready?
Yeah.
Okay, don't disappoint.
I don't think so. 9.0.
Oh yeah.
9.0.
Oh yeah.
9.3. 9.3. 9.3.
Yo.
On deck we have Charlie. Yes? This is why we have co-hosts. On deck we have Charlie, the please welcome up to the stage, I'm blinking right now, Ruthie. Please welcome up to the stage, Ruthie. To ask me about life, you must also ask me about death. Because death is the only reason life exists in the first place. And I know nobody likes to talk about death, but I am not afraid. I guess maybe life and death are so connected, the only thing that separates them is the language we use to define them. Like how black and white are really just both shades of gray. The way I see it, everything is connected. The way I see it, as long as life exists, then death must too. Because everything living must die. If it never dies, then it must have never been alive. And if you ask me about life and death, then you must also ask me about decay. Decay? Decay is the way life and death become a spectrum. From the moment we take in our first breath, decay is our journey that guides us to death until we embrace our old friend. And sometimes we decay because we die, but that is still decay. Everything is always decomposing itself. The way every cell in our body regenerates after 7 years, that is how we transform. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, so it transforms. Isn't that beautiful? How everything transforms, how all hurt can be healed eventually. I like to believe all hurt can be healed because then maybe this pain isn't forever. The thing about hurt is scars are left behind. Because pain is a kind of destruction that likes to leave its mark wherever it goes. I think it just wants to be remembered. I think it just wants to be loved. Don't we all? Isn't that life? Ask me about life, I will answer in metaphors, maybe because I'm a poet. Maybe it's because I am human. Doesn't nonsense make so much more sense to you? Maybe that's just me. Yes, this is all a metaphor. I just gave you all the answers. So were you listening?
Yo! I really like her answer. I do too.
Give it up for
Admire her.
Ruthie.
Yeah!
Say you speaks.
You speak?
You speaks.
You speak.
Thank you so much. Voice of Goddess, what do you got for me
I
here?
got nothing. Nothing yet.
Great. Well, wonderful.
What you got?
Nothing. Nothing for you right now.
More jokes!
So Brave New Voices is an international youth poetry festival happening in Las Vegas, Nevada this year. That's where we're sending 5 young people. Isn't that exciting, y'all? Such an appropriate place to send teenagers, right? So good. Love it.
I thought you didn't have anything. That sounded like something to me. I'm ready.
All right, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
Y'all ready? 9.0. 9.0. 9.0. 9.1. 9.2.
Give it up for the poet on those points.
And stop.